On Friday, August 27, 2021. It is We Will Not Comply. We are back, and it is Friday morning here in the belly of the beast in Long Island. We're coming to you live from the America First Media Campus. That is the America First Media Campus in the heart of Long Island, a new state of the art facility that's coming up, and we're going to be doing a lot of things in that space. So, welcome to We Will Not Comply. We'll be broadcasting here from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Right here out of the America First Media Campus. I'm excited to talk to everybody today about what's been going on here in Long Island, board meetings, different news, different events that are coming up. Obviously, we're going to Albany on Sunday. Sunday, the 29th, is going to be a monster rally in Albany, the capital of New York. It's going to be Kathy Hochul's housewarming party. So hopefully you guys can make it to that. That is going to be Sunday. Excuse me, let me get this in position. Sunday, August 29th. It is this coming Sunday in Albany. So welcome to We Will Not Comply. This is going to be a good, fun Friday morning stream. I've got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we have local school board meetings that have been going. They're in full force. I've got some stuff to talk about with regards to those and what I think is actually happening with those meetings. There's some tactics that have been used by these school boards and by those who are putting these meetings on that are just really scary. Straight out of the Soviet Union. I mean, what happened in East Meadow on Wednesday night was a disgrace. What happened last night in Longwood was a disgrace. And we'll definitely talk about all of that going forward, because what you're watching happen is a complete failure of the representative system. A complete failure. Make no mistake, everyone, you put those board members on those boards, okay? You put those board members on those boards. They didn't get there by themselves. You put them there. They are supposed to represent your best interest. They are supposed to represent your kids' best interest. And yet what's happening is they are representing the state's best interest. There are a handful of parents at a couple of these meetings who are getting up, a very small handful of parents who are getting up at these meetings and showing up at these meetings. Very small handful of people who are saying it's a public school. We have to do what's good for the public. And then these are all non-science, non-data-based perspectives that they're offering. But, it's a public school, so we have to do what's right for the public. Give me the data. Give me the data that says what you're doing is good for the public. You can't, because there is no data. And I've got an article about that we're going to read about. And by the way, the way this is going to work going forward, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The next Monday, I'm not going to be able to do a 7 o'clock live stream in the morning because I have a conflict. But the way this is going to work is it's going to run from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Okay. It gets uploaded straight to YouTube after that. It's going to be uploaded. It's obviously going to get saved to the two Facebook channels. The two Facebook channels that'll be running are my personal one and the Long Island Loud Majority community page. And then it's obviously going to be posted to my Twitter. But what I'm going to do as well is upload the audio to the Podbean platform under the We Will Not Comply podcast. And so you'll be able to listen to the audio version of what we do every morning, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. This is going to happen 3 days a week. And we're going to do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and right here in the morning, so we can bring it to you. Now, we do have a phone line. I will announce the number halfway through. We'll start taking calls. I've got, obviously, it was interesting last time. I was able to rig it up and it worked no problem, and I was really happy about that. So that's the way this is going to work. At the end of everything, at the end of the stream, I will upload this to audio under We Will Not Comply under the podcast. I believe it's under Google Podcasts already, Apple Podcasts, I believe. But you will be able to find it under there. The audio, the video, you can find at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Long Island Loud Majority. You can find it on my Twitter. You can find it on my Facebook. You can find it on the LILM Facebook as well. So, good morning, rise and shine to the wonderful people of Long Island and all over the place. I think we're looking at it. And so there are some people who are across the country. A wonderful, beautiful country, and look at what's happening. Would you look at what's happening? Could you see what's going on? It's absolutely atrocious. It's disgraceful. What is going on? But I can't believe it. So what happened in East Meadow was terrible, and I've got an announcement about East Meadow that we're going to get to. Okay. I have an announcement in East Meadow. And this is, by the way, the name of this coffee, I think it's called 5 Star Strong or something. It's delicious. Saw it in a local supermarket. It was red, white, and blue. It was like, hey, let's just go ahead and get that coffee. Without that coffee, I'd be like, oh, I'd be like Jeb Bush waking up. Oh, please clap, everybody. Please. But there was no low energy. There is no room for low energy right now. We got to have high energy. We got to be involved. Did you see? I posted it on Twitter. The math question, was it a math question or it was an English question in Arizona public schools? And the question was, when is the governor going to, oh, it's a disgusting thing. Take a look at it on Twitter. It was a complete indoctrination. East Meadow, complete indoctrination. They put masks on the statues over there. They were putting masks on the statues. I took those off. So, that's kind of ridiculous, but lots to talk about. Obviously, the biggest thing and the biggest problem, we all know you without coffee. Yeah, Charlie knows. He's commenting down there. He says, we know you without coffee. It's not good. It is not good at all. But we luckily got the coffee going, so it's great. So let's get into it. Obviously, Afghanistan is something that a lot of people are talking about, and what happened yesterday, and what's really happened over the course of the last, let's say, week to 10 days is it's it's hard to imagine that we're talking about the United States of America, right? When we're talking about Afghanistan, and we're coming up on 20 years since 9/11, and I'm not even gonna approach it from that angle. I'm not even going to approach it from that angle. But all I can say is over the last 7 months, and we've watched what this administration has done, whether it's passing monster infrastructure bills where barely any of the money is going to infrastructure, whether it's the fuel costs that have absolutely skyrocketed because we're shutting down pipelines and surrendering our energy independence, whether it's uh, whether it's our military superiority or now lack thereof in the Middle East, and I don't want to be involved in the Middle East. I don't think we should be involved in the Middle East. I'm not calling to go to war right now. I see guys like Dan Crenshaw, and he's talking about, oh, we got to go back to war. No, we don't. We got to get our people out and learn our lesson. Okay, I don't know why there's so many people are so just like eager to start bombing things as if we don't wind up. Okay, but all right, let's go ahead and say we bomb Afghanistan right now. What happens? You tell me what happens. We go ahead and we bomb Afghanistan right now. Boom! We turn it to glass. What, we just gonna turn it to glass and walk away? You see, folks like Crenshaw they don't have an answer to that question. They just want to drop bombs and call it a day. That is not the answer. We're still going to have to pay for these things. We drop a bomb in Afghanistan, we're going to be there for another 20 years dealing with the same crap. Okay, what should have happened and what we know should have happened, all right, is we're leaving Afghanistan. You've got people that need to get out. You've got equipment that needs to get out. And then you've got our men and women in uniform that need to get out. Not hard. We have withdrawn from countries before. And somehow this idiot in office decided he was going to screw it up. And not only screw it up, it wasn't like a little botch. It wasn't like a little oopsie. This is a colossal disaster. People are dying. People are dying. Our Marines are dying. Kids are dying. Afghan civilians are dying. Americans are dying. We do need to retaliate. We need to show some sort of force, but it needs to be a short-term solution only. We cannot stay in Afghanistan. We have enough problems here. Do we agree? Don't we agree that we have enough problems here at the homeland? We do not need we don't need to prop up a regime. Listen, I mean, Joe Biden said this, and I'm not saying it because he said it. I've been saying it for the last 5-6 years. We don't Our job in the world is not to build regimes. We need to take care of what we're doing here before we go anywhere. Before we go over to Afghanistan or North Korea or South Korea or any of these other countries and start talking about building them democracies. Cuba, I would love to help the Cubans, but the Cubans have to help the Cubans too. Before we start building democracies everywhere, can we maybe fix what we're dealing with here first? And no, we don't live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. Okay. The democratic process, yes, we use the democratic process in this country, but the democratic mandate where the 51% always rules the 49%, no. No, that's how tyranny is born. That's why the Democrats want to federalize elections. That's why the Democrats want to make the popular vote the only number that matters. So they can win 4 or 5 blue cities in red states, excuse me, and wow, I got an itch in my eye here. It's terrible. So they can win 4 or 5 blue cities in a bunch of red states and win elections. But now here we are. Now here we are sitting here thinking about Afghanistan, watching our people die, watching Afghans die, watching children die, watching ISIS. Look, ISIS was gone from 2016 to 2020. We didn't really hear much about ISIS. We heard about us sending them into the mountains. We heard about us eradicating and dismantling the caliphate. Now ISIS is back. ISIS K, whatever the hell that means. So within 7 months of this guy taking office, this isn't like third year of the term, 7 months, we have ISIS, Al Qaeda's running around Afghanistan. Gas is back over $3 a gallon. Nobody in the country wants to work because they're being paid more to stay home. Inflation is out of control. Everything this administration wants to do regarding the China virus is it's way off base. It flies in the face of science. It flies in the face of logic and reason. And then you've got these anti-liberty, these communist barking seals that are running around. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, we all have to wear masks. We should all just be slapping the face diaper up. They're just eating all this crap up. Now, I know some of you are diehards from 15 days to slow the spread, which is like day 550 or something right now, who said, if we let this happen now, which was March of 2020, if we let this happen now, we will have problems later. Oh, don't worry. It's only 2 weeks. Never fallen for that one again, too. It's only 2 weeks. Don't worry. It's only 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks wound up lasting almost 2 years. So excuse me if I don't believe you when you say it's only 2 weeks. Garbage. Now you got refugees. Oh, by the way, we don't have to worry about refugees. They're just going to wind up going to the southern border and walking into the country anyway. Now, I want to see the folks as I got the chat going on that. It's obviously live streamed and then we're going to upload it later. But we got the chat going. I got a lot of listen, there's a lot of people watching right now. It's 7 a.m. So congratulations. Waking up. Rise and shine. You're having your coffee. Okay. You're having the coffee. It's fantastic. You're doing a wonderful job. Everybody's doing in Long Island that we're getting hit with a lot lately. We're getting hit with a lot. But you're doing a fantastic job. I just have to say. But for everybody watching, okay, think about this. If you look at 15 days to slow the spread, if you look at, and it's only 2 weeks, it's just a mask. Come on, you're not just protecting you. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Okay? So, it's only 2 weeks. You know, if you surrender your liberty for a false sense of security, you are essentially surrendering both. You're not going to be safe. You're not going to be secure. And you're going to have no freedom. And that's where we're headed. Do you see what's going on in Australia? Regional quarantine facilities? I don't know. Sounds like a camp to me. Folks, the gulags are going to be a lot of fun. When they put the gulags up and they take all the people who aren't vaccinated or all the free thinkers or all the free speech people or the liberty people and they stick them in the gulags, you know how much fun that's going to be? I can't wait. I hope I have a presidential suite in the gulag. Now, I may have to share it with 19 other people, but I know they'll be like-minded people. You don't wind up in the gulag unless you think like us. You know, it's funny because a year ago, maybe I would have been 100% joking. I'm only half joking now. YouTube has taken down over 1 million videos or something like that. It's on BonginoReport.com. YouTube has taken down. Let me see what the headline on that was. This is a great number. Let's see if I can get down here and look at this. Let's see. We're in the culture war. YouTube admits to taking down over 1 million videos since the pandemic began for COVID misinformation. I'm going to pop this article open and I'll attach that in the post-show email. So if you're not on our email list, go to officialloudmajority.com, officialloudmajority.com, or loudmajorityus.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and take a look and sign up for the email, because the emails that I'm going to be sending you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are just going to be show note stuff. So if you're looking at the show, you're watching it, or you're listening to it, you can actually see what I'm pulling from, what I'm talking about, and read along with it, and it'll make the experience that much better. So YouTube has taken down over 1 million videos since the onset. It's on Blaze. Since the onset of the coronavirus pandemic in February of 2020, YouTube has removed more than 1 million videos related to, quote, dangerous coronavirus information, the company said on Wednesday. They removed videos included. The removed videos included content that Google, was misinformation about the pandemic. Judge, this is all subjective, like the promotion of a false cure or videos calling the pandemic a hoax. Such videos violated the company's policy prohibiting, quote, any videos that can directly lead to egregious real-world harm. So this is just a communist thing going on, folks. This is, 1 million videos, 1 million videos. Goodbye. Rest in peace, free speech. Rest in peace. And now you hear, remember all of us conspiracy theorists? You're a conspiracy theorist. You're a conspiracy theorist. You have, remember all the plastic barriers? Now the New York Times came out with studies, or were citing studies, that even the plastic barriers don't help. That they concentrate the viral particles and wind up making it worse. You've got Anthony Fauci. Anthony freaking Fauci. Trust the doctors. Trust the experts. Anthony Fauci. It doesn't matter what you wear. Just wear a mask. Really? Doesn't matter if it's an N95 or if I go like this. Anthony Fauci's happy because you know what? Hey, look, now the virus can't get me. What kind of nonsense is this? So that's where we are. But let's run into Afghanistan, right? Republicans, I got an article here. Republicans slam Biden after suicide attack at Kabul airport, and that he's got blood on his hands. And one Republican in particular, her name is Elise Stefanik, and I know we all know who she is. She's fantastic. She's from upstate New York, the third highest ranking member in the House in terms of the Republican Party. She's I believe the chairman of the House GOP, chairwoman of the House GOP. Sorry about that. Republicans are slamming the Biden administration's handling of Afghanistan after suicide bombing outside the Kabul airport killed at least 10 U.S. service members and wounded dozens more. That's what we're dealing with. 7 months in. 7 months in. Let me run this by you. Do you remember when Trump in 2016, when he won that race in 2016, what the feeling was like? You had the MAGA hats, you had the flags, you had, people walking around with their shirts. We were proud of what we did. We beat Hillary Clinton. It was a great time. Where are the proud Biden supporters? Where are the proud people who voted for Joe Biden? He got 81 million votes. This is what they tell us. He got 81 million votes, right? He was the most popularly elected president in the history of the United States. He was more popular than Barack Hussein Obama himself. Where are all of the people who are so proud of voting for Joe? Where are they? Where are they? Where are the bumper stickers? Where are the hats? Where are the shirts? Where are the flags? Where? Where are the people? Now, there's one of two answers here. Either A, the people aren't really proud of what they've done. They don't want to admit that they're a Biden voter. It's like being a Biden voter is like being the new Trump voter. Remember, you vote for Trump. Oh my gosh, you're a Trump supporter. People used to be afraid to wear the MAGA hat, right? You're going to wear that in public? Yeah. It's just make America great again. You damn right I'm going to wear that in public. I don't see anybody wearing Biden stuff, and I don't see it. Either A, they're not proud of what they've done. They're ashamed of themselves, and they should be. If you voted for Joe Biden, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm not going to publicly shame you, but you should be ashamed of yourself if you voted for this guy. Right? Look at it. What, gas doubling in 7 months is building back better. Inflation going through the roof is building back better. A disaster in Afghanistan, a disaster on the southern border is building back better. The country not knowing what the hell it wants to do in terms of science and data over this China virus, that's building back better. The lack of leadership. You saw Joe Biden take a question from the media yesterday and bury his face in his hands because he looked overwhelmed. This man is the weakest leader probably on the world stage, but the weakest leader that this country has seen maybe ever. He is feeble. He's not all there. We said all of these things going into the election. Oh, you're picking on an old man. Well, it's better than Trump. Anything's better than Trump. I don't think so. Why don't we? Who's doing better right now under Sleepy Joe than Donald Trump? Who's doing better? I understand it's only someone. You maybe when you elect a new president, you don't do better or worse right off the bat. But I can guarantee you the collective feeling, you're not doing better. You're doing worse right now than you were 7 months ago. Worse, way worse. You're spending double the amount of money at the pump. If you're working, and hopefully you are, it's great. If you're working, that's wonderful. But you got a lot of people in this country who are making the same amount of money as you, and they're not working. You got Joe Biden coming out there saying he's got a list of people he's allowed to take questions. Trump is the president of the United States, folks, and he's operating somebody behind him, his puppet masters, telling him what he can and can't do. He occupies the most powerful office in the world, and he's taking orders from somebody. So where are the proud Biden voters? Where are you guys? I want to meet you guys. Are you happy with what you did? 81 million of you, so they say. Everyone says, oh, no, you're not the loud majority. You're the minority. That's why you lost. Well, where the hell is the majority then? Where the hell are they? Someone's got to tell me. Where are you guys at? Biden voters, I want to see you. I'm not going to do anything. I want to know who the hell you are. I want to know who effed this up so badly. 81 million of you did this? I don't think so. But I'll tell you right now, we were proud after we voted for Trump. We were proud for 4 years. We had flags. We had hats. We were running around. We were shaking. We were, even if we had to keep it down for a little bit, we were high-fiving in public. Every time I put my MAGA hat on, before loud majority was a thing. And it's hard to believe we're coming up on 1 year. But before it was a thing, I would walk around in my MAGA hat and my Trump stuff all the time. And I would see people out there, love your hat, love your shirt, high five, go Trump, all over the place in these supermarkets. And I would make a scene every time something would happen. Oh, yeah, you're a Trump supporter. Let's go. Be loud about it. That was before this was even a thing. Where are the Biden voters? Where are you guys at? Are you not proud? You guys were very loud before the election. Somewhat. Are you not proud of this? Do you not want to admit that you were part of the problem? Or are some of those 81 million Biden voters just not real? Are they just not real? Remember, Trump supporters were out and openly being Trump supporters despite Russia, despite Ukraine, despite Stormy Daniels, okay, all the garbage that they decided that they were going to throw, despite the Charlottesville crap. The Charlottesville crap find people on both sides where they said Donald Trump is endorsing white supremacy. And we still didn't waver in our support. They did all of that in the media for 4 straight years, and the guy winds up getting 10 million more votes on election day, his second time around, than his first time around. Never happened in the history of the country. Never have we seen something like that. So where are the Biden voters? Where are they? Where are you guys? I want to see you guys. You voted for Joe Biden? You're a part of this problem. You need to own it. You need to own it. I'm looking for an apology from half of these people. So are they ashamed of themselves? Or is there really not 81 million of them? I don't know. I feel like option 2 is the easier answer to explain. I don't think there's 81 million people who are ashamed of themselves. Democrats are never ashamed of themselves. Democrats are never ashamed of themselves. Elizabeth Warren can't even pass her own test. She got trolled into taking a DNA test that she knew she was going to fail. How do you fail a DNA test? Ask Elizabeth Warren. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So you got Republicans in the House. You got a couple of them in the Senate who are absolutely slamming Joe Biden for his handling the way he's handling Afghanistan, and they should be. They absolutely should be. But folks, what happens? There's people calling for his resignation. Joe Biden needs to immediately resign. What happens if he does? Kamala Harris takes over. Are we really better off? Do we win? No. We had a chance to fix this. Texas tried. I think 17 other states tried as well, and the Supreme Court said, nope, lack standing. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Amy Coney Barrett and Brett Kavanaugh. Thank you, guys, and Gorsuch. Thank you so much. Clarence Thomas seems to be the only justice on the Supreme Court with a you-know-what in there. I want to keep it family-friendly. Lee Stefanik tweeted, Joe Biden has blood on his hands. Congresswoman, upstate New York. The buck stops with the President of the United States. This horrific national security and humanitarian disaster is solely the result of Joe Biden's weak and incompetent leadership. He is unfit to be commander-in-chief. I agree. He is unfit to be commander-in-chief. Kamala Harris, though, I don't believe she's fit either. So what is the answer? What is the answer? Joe Biden's not making it the next 4 years. There's no way. We're only 7 months in. This guy's burying his face in his hands in the middle of press conferences. He does that lost dog walk when he turns around. I know it's probably hard for him. It's hard. It's not an easy job. No one's saying being the president of the United States is an easy job. But man, the guy who was in there last time sure as hell made it look a lot easier than the guy who's in there right now. 81 million people did not vote for this. I could tell you that right now. So where are you, Biden voters? Where are you? Because I'm still not afraid to say I support Donald Trump. And I know there's a lot of people here on Long Island, and there are hundreds of thousands and millions of people across the country, coast to coast, who are a part of us, whether you know about us or not. We are the loud majority of the United States. And it's something I want to talk about also with regards to us as a movement, the message that we're trying to send. And then you got people that are going to come out. They're going to call us names. They're going to infiltrate. They're going to make a scene wherever we go. That's fine. You know what? If you're getting booed by the bad guys, it means you're one of the good guys. If you're getting booed by the bad guys, it means you're one of the good guys. And we're getting booed by a lot of bad guys right now. Yeah, I know all about all the teachers associations that are stalking our page. I know all about it. What the hell are you guys hiding? You got bigger things to worry about than what the Long Island loud majority is talking about with regards to board meetings. All we want to do is see kids have the choice, parents have the choice to take the mask off of their child, and you're going to stalk us like that? What else are you guys hiding? Don't worry, we'll find it. We will find out. And if you think I'm afraid, if you think we're going to be intimidated, if you think getting in our face is gonna keep us up at night, you're out of your mind. You have not been watching us for the last year. That ain't how we operate. Remember, folks, we will not comply with the garbage. We will not. Okay? You got a kid going to these public schools and you find out that they're being brainwashed in the classroom, whether it's masking, whether it's CRT, or what they're calling diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is CRT. You think we're going to stay quiet about things like that? You think we're not going to try and take back the school boards? I'm sorry, I don't know the definition of quiet. I don't know the definition of reserved. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. Not me. I'm going to continue fighting. I know everybody here on this chat is going to continue fighting too. And everybody who watches the stream later is going to continue fighting as well. And we're not going to stop because there are more of us than there are of them. And oh my gosh, we could be a whole hell of a lot louder too. We got to talk about these board meetings on Long Island. We really do. Let me see what else I got here in terms of what articles are left. 24% believe Joe Biden is handling the Afghan withdrawal the right way. A Wednesday poll reveals, this is from Breitbart, a Wednesday poll reveals only 24% of registered voters believe Joe Biden's Afghan withdrawal is going, quote, very well or, quote, somewhat well, according to Morning Consult and Politico. Politico, not a friendly poll to us conservatives. Politico, left wing, 24%. When respondents were asked how well, if at all, do you think the withdrawal of U.S. military presence in Afghanistan is going? 8% say it was going very well. 16% say it was going somewhat well. 23% say it's going not too well. And 44% say it's not well at all. Respondents were also asked, do you believe the U.S. should still withdraw its military presence in Afghanistan if it means, question mark, the Taliban regains control of most of Afghanistan? 22% say yes, we should still withdraw. 25% say yes, we probably should still withdraw. 17% say no, we should not withdraw, and 22% say definitely not withdraw. Look, I'm fine with getting out of Afghanistan. I'm perfectly fine with it. You know, the minute we left, that the Taliban was going to take over anyway. We had a deal with the Taliban. I mean, I don't know if I would have done that either, but we had to get out of there. We couldn't just stay. But man, is he failing? Is this administration failing this country right now over in Afghanistan? You know, they're distracted by passing monster infrastructure bills. They're distracted by trying to mask up students instead of worrying about getting people out of Afghanistan safely. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's a disgrace. And even the media is starting to call this out. Even the media is going, man, you know, we kind of pushed for this and like, ooh, boy. Got 3 more years to go with this crap. We have to win these midterms in 2022 so we could stop all this ridiculous spending, or we're done. Put up or shut up time, right? Put up or shut up time. But let's talk about these local board meetings, because let's start with Wednesday night. We'll start with Wednesday night. East Meadow High School. Well, East Meadow Administration Building. I'm driving there from work. And someone's calling me, goes, you know, they're not letting the public in. I said, what the hell do you mean they're not letting the public in? He goes, they're not letting them in. They're not letting them in. All right, where's everybody? Oh, they're outside the door. They're not letting them in. So we get there. We find out that it's like Alcatraz, right? To get into the building, you gotta put a mask on. When you get there, the seats were all 6 feet apart. It was like a Joe Biden rally. Unbelievable. More security in this particular building than there was in the entire 2020 election combined. So we get in there. This board, they're consulting with the district physician. The Department of Health, which, by the way, the district physician in East Meadow, I think his name is Dr. Zazzo, is like a DOH like stooge, right? But I'm seeing this happen all over Long Island right now, and it is absolutely disgraceful. The boards who were elected by the public are not answering to the public. The boards who run in these elections, who taxpayers trust to do the right thing with taxpayer money, to do the right thing by their children, to do the right thing for the district, for the state, and for the country as a whole, these school boards, with the exception of a few, Plain Edge, Bethpage, Massapequa, I'll even give Comac and William Floyd a pass because they're at least letting these kids take the masks off at the desk. But people like East Meadow, boards like East Meadow, boards like Longwood, and what we saw last night. Are you kidding me? Wantaw decided they were going to mandate masks too. I was at Wantaw's meeting a couple of nights ago when their board president decided, I've had enough. You know, these people just they either need to resign or we need to get them out. You're on a school board, you're not paid. You don't have to sit through this. You don't want to do your job, somebody else in that audience will do it. We need fighters on these boards, folks. We need people who are going to take a stand. I don't know what the hell is going through these people's head, but you hear the community. You see these rooms are getting packed. And folks, we're not telling people to go to specific board meetings because we don't want the crazies to show up. So these people are going to the meetings by themselves. Connecticut went to the meetings. You know, Connecticut filled that room the other night with all those red shirts. Not because loud majority told them to go, because they're pissed off. Because they had a campaign in place for a month. Lawn signs, shirts. They're passionate. They don't want to see their kids being preyed on in these schools. And it's not us. Are we supporting them? Absolutely. But for anyone who wants to go, well, you know, you're just sending people into these meetings to give the illusion of numbers. Absolutely not. We're not telling people where to go. We're making people aware of where these meetings are, and people are showing up, and people are standing up, and people are speaking up. And what are these communities doing? What are these school boards doing? You're supposed to work together with the community, and instead they're flipping them off and saying, well, you know, the state. Well, you know, the state. No more. You're going to hide behind the state. You need to get your ass off the board. That's what you got to do, because I'm tired of this. I look around these rooms, and there's a reason why I go to so many meetings. I want to see what the hell's going on. I look around these rooms when I go to these meetings, and I see the same thing. I see the majority of these rooms desperate to see somebody just take a stand. We're not asking for you to solve world hunger. We're not asking for you to cure, cancer. And God, I hope that happens. We're not asking for the world here. We're asking you to take a stand. Congratulations, Plain Edge. Congratulations, Massapequa. Congratulations, Bethpage. Taking a stand. At least showing the community we hear you. We're going to be there for your best interest. We're going to represent your voice in Albany. That's the job of these boards of education, and they're not doing it. And so what happened in East Meadow was a disgrace. So what are we going to do about it? So we get to the building, right? Let me just tell you, I get to the building and everyone's hanging out outside. There's people watching it on Zoom. They were letting people in 5 at a time. Seriously, I felt like getting into a prison. Then you see the statues in the lobby of the building and they have masks on. The statues have masks on. What? That big bronze statue is going to spread the coronavirus? Indoctrination. They're going to make these kids are going to walk past those statues. You're going to look at those statues and the new normal is going to be the diaper on the face. So I spoke with a bunch of residents in East Meadow, and they're pissed off. I was watching parents come out of that meeting, just watching them come out, and each one that came out was more upset and angrier and more disappointed. Each person that came out, there were parents that were coming out basically in tears. Tears. Is that what the Board of Education is supposed to do? Are you supposed to be making parents get to that point? Are you supposed to be making residents get to that point? Is that why you were put on that board? No. But it's okay. You don't want to take action? We got rooms full of people who will run next year and get on that board, and there will be no anti-police curriculum in the curriculum in these schools if we put the right people on the board. And there will be no ridiculous mask policy. Do you think that if every school district on Long Island would just write a mother-loving letter to Albany saying we're not complying, what are they going to withhold funding from everybody? Last night, I'm sorry, let's get back to Wednesday night, East Meadow. Locking the public out of the meeting, making the decision before hearing from the public anyway. That is not the way these school boards are supposed to operate, and it's time to fix that problem. So what we're going to do is September 2nd, next Thursday, at 8 in the morning, for anybody in the East Meadow School District, who does not want to send their child to school with a mask on, who will not send their child to school with a mask on, we are going to hold a rally Thursday morning, September 2nd. I think I want to make sure that this is, I want to make sure that it's Thursday. Hold on one moment. I just want to make sure I got my date right. I'm pretty sure it's Thursday morning, but I'm going to double check I got that date right. But Thursday morning, September 2nd, it is Thursday. Thursday, September 2nd, 8 a.m., 718 The Plain Drive. It is the East Meadow Administration Building. Anyone who doesn't want to send their kid into school with a mask on, we're going to rally right there on their front lawn, because what they did and how they treated the public was despicable. I was sick Wednesday night. Sick. I was sick for those parents who felt like their voices were just being disregarded and discarded and just ignored. I was sick for those kids who don't want to wear a mask and are going to be forced to wear a mask. So we are going to rally Thursday, September 2nd, outside of that administration building in East Meadow. Parents, bring your kids. We need to send a message to East Meadow that, oh, you want our kids to wear a mask? We're going to be here. They're not going to be in school. And then, folks, if push comes to shove, you're going to have to homeschool your kids. You're going to have to get them out of these public schools. You can't send them. What are you going to do? You're going to put them in that environment? And expose them to all that psychological trauma? You can do that? I sure hope not. Listen, if parents want to put their kids in masks and send them to school, it's their choice. And if they don't, that's also their choice. This is America. This is the way it's supposed to be. The CDC is not remote parent. They don't have remote parenting authority. Government does not have remote parenting authority. And yet these districts and these school boards are passing off their ability to make the decisions based off of what the public is telling them to the CDC. Main article here, Foundation for Economic Education. It's called FEE. CDC. Schools with mask mandates did not see statistically different rates of COVID transmission from schools with optional policies. I got this article. It's a great article. I read it last night. I'm going to scroll a little bit of the way down here. Study, which analyzed some 90,000 elementary students in 169 Georgia schools from November 16th to December 11th, found that there was no statistically significant difference in schools that required students to wear masks compared to schools where masks were optional. No statistically significant difference. If I'm yelling this morning, it's because I'm really, really upset. Because all we hear about is follow the science. follow the data, trust the experts. Yet you got nurses, you've got doctors, you've got all sorts of people that are showing up to these board meetings that are legitimately experts in their field. And instead of trusting them, no, 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 no. We're not going to trust that expert because I don't like that expert's opinion. We're going to trust another expert. Anthony Fauci, the one who's flip-flopped more than I have never seen a guy. He's like a windshield back, forth, mask, don't wear mask, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, this, that. It's insane. I'm scrolling. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit further because I want to see. Here we go. Here's the final part of this. This is the very philosophical argument here about what's going on. And the part of the article here talking about the common good. Masks are no longer simply a means of individual or public health. Bear in mind, children face a low risk of falling sick or being hospitalized with COVID with or without a face mask. Small children are far more likely to die of the flu, a car accident, a swimming pool, cancer, or some other ailment other than COVID-19, CDC data shows. The battle of school mask mandates has now become a political conflict, part of a larger struggle between the individual and collectivism. Now, here's a quote from Ayn Rand. Collectivism means the subjugation of the individual to a group, whether to a race, class, or state does not matter. It's the idea that what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and that's not always necessarily true. Collectivism is another quote. Collectivism holds that man must be chained to collective action and collective thought for the sake of what is called the common good. And then what's important about that quote, collectivism holds that man must be chained to collective action and collective thought for the sake of what is called the common good. So you have the common good right here. You have these people, you have them all fighting over the definition of what the common good is. And that has been skewed, and that has been manipulated, and that has been weaponized, and they are now doing it to your children. And so we start showing up to board meetings, and now they're stalking us. What are you guys hiding? Don't worry, we will find out because we will not stop, and we will not comply. East Meadow, making the meeting not really public, was a disaster, was disgusting. They allowed for public comment, but they weren't listening. These people sitting up on that board, including that smug superintendent. Smug. Dr. Card, I think is his name. Okay? Smug. No, he's the superintendent of East Meadow. He knows more than you. You just got to trust him, you know? Yeah. Locking the public out, hurting people, bringing them in like cattle, have to wear the mask. I made a point at East Meadow. You had to wear a mask to come in, they told me. I picked one up off the ground. He goes, no. You don't have to take that one off the floor. We would have given you a fresh one. I said, no, I'm making a point that this is not about safety at all. This is about complying with your garbage rule. If you cared about my safety and the other people's safety, you wouldn't let me walk in with a mask that I was wearing on the floor. That mask is contaminated. That mask isn't going to work. You see, there's no science or data that goes into this. And it's a shame. It's a shame that these school districts that are teaching diversity, equity, and inclusion that are going by that framework that mentions on line 19 on page 2 of the framework that they're going to talk about the the senseless and brutal killing of black and brown people at the hands of law enforcement. It's a shame that now they're going to buddy up with the cops. But once school starts, they're going to be teaching all the kids that come through the district, all the kids that come through the school, that the cops are the bad guys. But when they need them, they'll bring them right on in. Hypocrites. I'll attach that article, that CDC article as well. What happened in Longwood last night was absolutely a disaster. That board got up and left the meeting too. Well, there was fighting in the back. Okay, so let the fighting happen in the back. Get those people out of there and keep the meeting going and listen to your community. But again, this is another instance of the board having its mind made up going into the meeting. So what the hell's the point of having the meeting in the first place? What the hell's the part of the meeting in the first place? Longwood was a disaster last night. Longwood, one of the largest districts on Long Island, had the opportunity to be a pioneer, had the opportunity to be leaders, had the opportunity to take a stand, to set an example, to join Plain Edge, who, despite Kathy Hochul's overreaching mandate, if it's even official, who the hell knows the games that they're playing with the legalese? Plain Edge still says masks are optional. Bethpage too, Massapequa too. They had a chance to take a stand last night, Longwood, and instead they ran away. And again, this is a bad thing in the short term, but it's a great thing in the long term because you know now what needs to be done. You know now that you, if you're listening, if you're watching, and you're in East Meadow, or you're in Wantagh, or you're in Longwood, or you're in Smithtown, or you're anywhere, and you're seeing things happening on your board, and you know you could do a better job, it's time to start thinking about running for school board and taking back these school boards. They want to behave like that. We got to take back those systems. That's it. The do nothing cutesy time days are done. Longwood was a disaster last night. It's time to replace the board. And folks, if you're on these school boards and you're watching, I know that you're watching, there's people that are stalking the page and whatever. You're on the school boards, you're part of teachers unions and whatnot, and you're watching it and you're trying to get your intel and everything like that. Look, if you're on these school boards, you're not paid. You don't need to sit through this. Just if you don't want to do your job, if you don't want to take a stand, if you don't want to be a leader, just step down. Somebody else will gladly take your place. Please. Get the hell off these boards if you're not going to work for the community, if you're not going to listen to the community. Get the hell off these boards. And it was good that we're not telling people where to go. It's good that we're not telling people what district to walk into. We're not targeting any particular district. We literally just made people aware where these board meetings are, and people showed up. You either listen to your community, or your community is going to get rid of you in these positions. If you don't want to do the work, just step down. Somebody else will. Please. All right. Everybody, we got, it's already 7:53. 631-309-3979. 631-309-3979. 631. Oh boy, hold on. Excuse me. No. Yeah, sorry about that. We had a little wire problem. 631-309-3979. We'll take a few calls if you want. You don't have to give your name. You don't have to. I would love to know what town you're calling from, but if you're afraid of whatever it is that these people are doing, you can keep that a secret. But I do want to hear from you guys. 631-309-3979. If you have anything to say, we're going to be streaming for the next 7 minutes or so. Upcoming events coming up. Obviously, September 2nd, the East Meadow Unmask the Kids walkout. 8 a.m. in front of the administration building. I'm going to get you more information on that as we get closer. We're getting there. August 29th, 1 p.m. at the Albany Capitol building. Unmask the Kids rally. Hands off our kids. March against medical tyranny. March against mandates. Rally against mandates up in Albany. We're expecting a monster turnout. The group that's been putting this together has been working really, really hard. I'm in a group chat with them. They're doing a great job up there in Albany. We've rallied with them once before. Great patriots, great people, great parents, really, really good people. You should come up there on Sunday, August 29th, to the Albany Capitol steps of the Capitol building. And then the following Sunday is our 1 year. Can't believe we've been doing this for a year already. It's kind of hard to believe. But the following Sunday, we're going to be caravanning from the Dennison building to the America First warehouse. Sunday, September 5th, and I'm going to be making a Facebook event about that in the next day or so, getting that up. So let's interact with that. Let's share that. Let's make that big. 1 year since Copeg, 1 year since this all started. And we've done a lot in a year, and there's a lot more that we can do. 631 309 3979. 631 309 3979. Now, one thing I want to address with everybody who wants to talk about, like where we're going to be, or are you going to come to this meeting? Are you going to come to that meeting? Again, I am not going to be, and we will not be saying we're going to one meeting one way or the other. We would love to have representation at every meeting, but I don't want to sit there and tell you, yeah, I'm going to this district, because then what happens is you get the crazies that come down. And I don't want to expose you guys to the crazies. 631 309 3979. 631 309 3979. You can give it a call real quick if you want. If you want. So we have more meetings next week. We've got the rally this weekend up in Albany to say hi to Kathy, her housewarming party. These politicians, they're not going to learn up in Albany. These politicians are not going to learn up in Albany. But a government that does not hear you cannot fear you. And this government needs to fear losing their jobs. That's it. That's it. But it's really a shame what's going on. Hold on a second. Maybe, you know what I think it is? I think what we have here is maybe I'm not connected to the internet. I'm sorry. Let's see here. No, it should be working. 639 309 631 309 3979. It should be working, but I don't, if it's not, I don't know why. I mean, I'm connected. It should be fine. Let's see. Maybe everyone's calling too much. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see here. Oh, it looks like everyone called. I got missed calls all over the place. So try one more time. Everyone's trying to call at the same time. I think that's what's happening. All right, we got one coming in right now. Let me cue this up and see how this goes. Here. Okay. So we got a call on the line here. Just let me know where you're calling from. Beth Page. All right, awesome. Beth Page. So you guys have the mask optional policy. That's good to hear from you guys. How are you feeling going into the school year?
I'm worried about that whole thing with the Elaine Gross, who's got a big place in Jericho Turnpike in Syosset, who seems to be working with Newsday to redistrict all the areas in Long Island and create this hate.
Well, that is exactly what Elaine Gross is doing. She's a lobbyist for what's called affirmatively furthering fair housing. What that is they put up low income housing in these suburbs with no ways to pay for it, and what happens is you wind up with inflated crime and all sorts of stuff that comes into these neighborhoods like that, and that's Elaine Gross's that's her agenda. That's what that Obama program was. That's her agenda. And, we have to continue calling it out. We called her out at the West Babylon meeting, and all of a sudden, a week later, she showed up in an article on News 12. So she's very much involved in education and wants to redefine, these are her words, redefine a portion of education, to deal with housing. I mean, the kids aren't going to school to learn about housing inequities that may or may not exist on Long Island. So do you know of anything happening in your district with regards to Elaine Gross?
Well, I do know that there was a portion of that housing put up and disguised in an ACLD building on South Oyster Bay Road in Bethpage. And when I called years ago to fight it, they said that I had no business knowing what's going on there, because Cuomo and Coran did that. I had no business saying anything about it. That it was not of public interest. And it's an ACLD building with some low-income housing involved in it. I guess that was a test by Cuomo.
Yeah, and it's definitely something that I would say is very scary. When you look at how they tried to do it over in Smithtown, it was really scary. So, but thanks for letting me know about that building. And if you see anything else like that, or you hear anything else about Elaine Gross in your district, let me know. We got to get her name out there, raise awareness about the hate that she is trying to push. So thank you so much for the call.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Got another one coming in here. Hey, how you doing? And let me know what district or town you're calling from.
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Hey, you guys are awesome out in Connecticut on what was that, Tuesday night? So
Yeah.
that was a
yeah.
good
Let
time.
me tell you something. I worked there. Worked
Okay.
previously.
Okay.
I just left. It's such bullshit. They want to mandate masks for last year. Let me tell you something. I was in a classroom with 30 to 40 kids. They didn't put the mask on. I never got COVID. They never got COVID.
And so they're mandating it now. So do you mind if I ask, were you terminated or did you leave on your own
No,
accord?
I left.
Okay.
I
And you
left.
were
I got called out by a bitch French teacher. My mask was slipping off, and she degraded me in front of the main office.
unbelievable.
Nobody did anything about it.
And so you left, but you were a teacher? You were actually an educator?
No, I'm a assistant teacher.
An assistant. Now, did you see any? Now, without giving your name, did you see anything strange coming through the curriculum in Connecticut? And if you don't,
Yeah, I get emails. I still get emails.
strange things.
Strange?
If you wouldn't mind, I mean,
Strange, and it's taught by our own teachers.
there you go.
Racism in the classroom. Oh, I could send you a bunch of.
Again,
I've sent it to the board.
Oh.
I don't care if my name is not on it, but these are emails for classes, the CTO minutes that hours that teachers have to take.
What are those, like trainings and whatnot?
Yeah, exactly.
Now and one of the main drivers of those trainings is Erase Racism. They were using Erase Racism, which is Elaine Gross's group, to do these trainings over in Smithtown. We found out through the Smithtown foil. So look, if you have any information and you want to share that with me, you could email liloudmajority@gmail.com at any time and send it to me, because we need that info. There's a big thing that we're going to uncover, and there's a reason why a lot of these teachers unions and associations are trying to silence us and stalk us and shut us down. We're onto something, and you're telling me that it's happening on a widespread scale, and that teachers are pushing this crap in the schools. It's a shame, but I'm happy that you had the courage to get out of there. You know what I mean? That's important.
I've sent it to a few board meetings ago. I've sent it to the board members to call Linda Adams out. Tell her, oh, you don't know anything about? Oh, I never heard about it, she said. Bullshit. These emails have been sent since like last November.
Wow.
Last year, I've been getting emails about these classes they want us to take. And they're from some of our teachers in my own school was hosting them.
Wow.
And she says, oh, I never heard about it. Oh, and then I get called, first of all, in 2016 when Trump won, I was silenced. I was canceled since then. So this is a long time coming. I was canceled. And then they had the nerve when Biden's inauguration was on. I told them, oh, I wasn't allowed to watch Trump, but you can put it on here. I don't think so. I got phone call down to the principal.
Unbelievable.
I said, this seems to be a common theme. Every 4 years, I'm getting called down.
Well, you know what? You did the right thing, I will say, just by not being a part of this crap, because it's a terrible thing. So thank you for sharing that. Please, if you want to share the rest of the information with those.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
I moved to Sayville District.
Okay.
That's where I'm going this year.
Okay.
They were still undetermined, last I've heard.
Okay.
Is that
I haven't heard anything with regards to Sayville. I haven't heard anything definitive out of there yet. I'm sure, just because of how I know they operate, they're probably going to go with masks. But do what you can. It's a shame that we're seeing it, but do what you can. And if you want to share anything else with me, feel free. We'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Can I put those on your where should I post those?
The emails.
Classes?
The emails.
Yeah.
You can send them to me. Let me read them, and then I'll put them up. If when we see stuff, I want to make sure that we don't dox anyone or kill anyone's anonymity here. Just make sure we're doing this the right way. But if you send them to my email, liloudmajority@gmail.com, and I'll take a look at them, and I'll be in contact with you, and we'll, if there's a significant there, like you're telling me, we'll have something that we can work with and talk about. Maybe we'll even talk about it as soon as next week, maybe if we get those emails. So feel free to send them.
With these, and nobody's doing anything about it.
Yeah,
So,
send them to us.
definitely.
Send them to us. The board's not going to do anything about it, but we sure as hell will. We'll raise awareness for you. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
We'll talk to you later. One more call. Here we go. I got one coming in. I saw you calling a bunch of times. Where are you calling from?
Hey, Sean.
How are you?
This is Rose from St. James.
Hi, Rose. How are you?
I'm good. I sat with you at the Board of Ed meeting in Smithtown. If
Yeah, I
you
remember.
about a month ago.
Bradshaw's resignation. It was a good night.
Oh, you remember? Great night. And I was with Kevin last night. We were at Ray Tierney's thing last night.
Ray Tierney running for district attorney. We love Ray Tierney. He's awesome.
Yes, he is. So first of all, I wanted to tell you you're amazing.
Thank you.
So proud of you. You guys are the best. Don't give up. Stay strong. But we've got another issue. This Tim Sini. People's eyes need to be open to Tim Sini. So I know you're doing so much with the masks, the school boards, and I applaud you. Somehow, if you can fit in some time to wake people up about this Tim Sini, I think that would be great.
Rose, get me information about Tim Sini. Get me as much as you can. Let's work on it, and and let's keep making a difference. I am very focused on the school boards. Steve Bannon did say the path to save the nation is through the school boards. So we want to focus on that. But there's local elections that we want to win. Dominic Thorne, Ray Tierney, et cetera, et cetera. So whatever information, Rose, and I know I could trust you. You're great. You've been around for since I think day one, right? Copeg.
Yeah,
day one. That's a year ago, believe it or not. We love you. I love your support. Thank you so much for the kind words, and to everybody who's been so kind. Get that information to me. We do get inundated, so it's hard to respond to everything, but I'll do my best when I see information like that to let you know that I saw it, received it, and we'll be all about it.
And the Smithtown Messenger has a big expose on Sini today.
Yes.
So people need to be aware. Yes, the local elections, the school boards,
yes,
our DAs, our prosecutors. We've got to take this state back and this country back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Rose.
Hey,
I'm going to
keep up the great work.
Thank
buddy.
you. Thank you so much. Stay loud, okay?
Absolutely.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, not bad. We got the phones working today. That was good. A couple calls in. We're already at an hour 7. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining the stream today. We're going to get to uploading it. We're going to make everything, bring it up to the post the audio. It's going to be on youtube.com/Long Island Loud Majority. It's going to be on our public Facebook page. It'll be on my Twitter. We got a lot going on. Coming up, still a lot of fights to fight, a lot of battles to get in the trenches and square up and take down these tyrants, whether they're on the Board of Education or they're in the government itself. So we're doing a lot. We're getting involved. We're just doing what we can, and you guys that have been around us and been around here and been a part of us for the better part of the last year, we couldn't do it without you. We could not do it without you. And we really appreciate everything that you guys have said and done and all of the support that you get. It keeps me going for sure. I can speak for myself. It keeps me going for sure. 100%. I love the words of encouragement. I love the interactions. I just love you guys. Okay. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. We're going to keep fighting for you. We're going to keep fighting for your kids. We're going to keep fighting for our country and for our future. And remember that despite these crappy rules and all this nonsense about, just all this crap, despite all of that, okay, if you don't like it, if you don't want your kid to wear a mask going to school, then just don't comply, folks. This is called We Will Not Comply, because that is how it has to be. Mass civil disobedience. If we do not consent, we will not comply. Dennison building today, 11-1. It's a protest in support of healthcare workers. They were called our heroes last year. Dennison building today, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. They were called our heroes last year. Heroes, essential workers. Now we're being told they're getting fired for not getting a vaccine. And then we're also being told in the same breath that the hospitals are overrun. So how could the hospitals be overrun if you're firing employees? Doesn't make sense. If we do not consent, we will not comply. That's got to be the mindset moving forward. It is time to take to the trenches. It is time to keep putting up a fight. Obviously not physical, but politically. Keep going. Stay loud. Don't back down. We're approaching 1 year. We've done so much in 12 months. I cannot wait to see where we're going to be after 24. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you later. Keep a lookout, and if I see you guys this weekend, hopefully I see a bunch of you guys up in Albany on Sunday. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, you guys stay loud, and if we do not consent, we will not comply.